Bam. Magical messages meant to find you. It's been so long since I done did one like this, like with my face. It's cause I really like to look at the cards, like the recent pick of cards I've done. I like to like have it on the cards. But I feel like today, or whenever you're watching this, people really needed to like really feel my energy. And one of the best ways I would say is to be able to like see my non-verbal communication, see how I express myself. I finally feel better, but I know some people are still feeling quite heavy as of today or whenever you're watching this, because you know, if it's resonating, it's resonating. But this week of December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, like, I don't know if that's a week, but like all those days have been quite dense. I feel like people at different points have felt this kind of shift, like going through a portal, excuse me, or a magical, massive shift in energy. And it feels like manifestations are materializing, like things are flowing, but it's like you know how when they're like the water go off on a faucet, you know, and then the water finally come back on, and it's still like spurts. It's like it's not a full flow yet. That's what this time has felt like, and it's also been very like it's been a lot of density needing to be cleared. So with that being said, I basically got this idea from what's it called? Activated Soul Tarot. Used to be Unicorn Light Tarot, but either way, it's Rebecca Troy's channel. And it's a pick a card that I shared a few days ago called Magical Message meant to Find You, I think. So this is BAM, Magical Messages. And the inspiration behind the bomb part is because when I was moving around this morning, I was hearing the song by Jay-Z called Bomb or Bam. It's like, fuck all this Sean Carter shit, nigga, Hove. Like that's the line that I felt. And it's like one of my favorite verses by him was like, make niggas weave, niggas is out here fake, lace front to the back, don't front. Y'all gonna make me wig, I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want. All of those plays, those puns, and those literary devices center around weave, specifically synthetic weave, or different Afrocentric hairstyles. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. And I feel like that energy is, I don't know, that verse in particular is very important to like Spirit's message for how you should be reacting to these like pessimistic thoughts. I know I'm not the only one. It's like these pessimistic thoughts, these fears coming up, like it's to see them for what they are. And then when it's time and when you feel it within you, come back on and say it, bomb, like bomb, like bam. Bomb is like bam but with an accent. I'm American. So I say like bam, but it's like bomb. And I'm sure everybody has heard that song. It's like bum bum be dum, bum 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 be dum, bum bum. Is that whole thing, which is a song by a black woman, an African woman, and I feel like it's important to all these messages. I might mention these along the way, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So we're gonna do the pick a card session. I don't have the, what's it called, the editing software anymore. So I'm gonna write it down on here and you can pick your pile. I'm gonna do 3. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So pile 1. We do have Kitty the cat in the building, in the room. I think he's very happy today because it's sunny and I opened 2 windows instead of 1, and he's like hunting things. So if you hear him in the back, little scratches, little sound in the background, that's him. I don't think he's gonna get out of bed today. I just feel like he's picking up this dead feather thing. All right. So if you didn't watch the intro, I would highly recommend you go watch the intro, because there's some messages, and I feel like healing even in the intro. But everything I say is basically a message, in my opinion. Saying mentro, maybe you got some sort of mention. You know how people like, what's mentions? You don't need no filter. You know you're a killer. Make sure that you don't need no mentions. Yeah, these are my only intentions. So maybe that song, in the kitchen cooking up, cause cut your own bread. Heart full of equity, you an asset. Make sure that you don't need no mentions. Yeah, these are my only intentions. Maybe you speak with a lot of like double negatives. I love double negatives, but it's like, it can be hard for me sometimes to like, I don't know, speak that way when I teach, I tutor and stuff. And so it's like, I'm always like trying to speak correct English for my students. And then it ends up like, that's how I end up talking. Even though my accent, like I speak with double negatives. So you have the King of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and then beneath that is the Death card. And I'm feeling this one, the Hermit in reverse. We'll take that one out. Well, look, Nine of Swords in reverse. Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, the Devil. Okay, we'll take all of those. I feel like I wish the light was brighter for this reading, but it is how it is. It's really hard to get the light to be a certain way because the light from outside. So we have King of Cups, Ace of Cups. Oh Lord, I wasn't even supposed to get these. I'll just put these back. So we have King of Cups and Death, and then I was saying, shit, the Tower card. So yes, there is upheaval in your life. It's intentional. Excuse me. I'm seeing those like corny movies, those corny romantic movies. It's like, or shows. Some you didn't like My Life with the Walter Boys. I don't even think it's out yet. I think it's Walter Boys, but it's a show. It's a series on Netflix that's coming out, or is already out, depending on when you're watching this. And then I'm sure it's a book series, but like also to All the Boys I've Ever Loved, XO Kitty. What's another like one like that? I don't know, even Heartstopper, all these like Netflix shows, those shows. And it's like, for example, To All the Boys I've Ever Loved, which are also books, it's like something very embarrassing happens. And because of that event, it forms the whole story. And then by the end of the story, or at least one of the ends of the story, because we have the Death card, one of the ends, she wouldn't have it, like the main character, they wouldn't have it any other way. Like it's as if this was always the way it was meant to be. So for example, I think her name is Laura Jean from that show. Her letters that she wrote gets out to some guy, and she ends up like pretending that she's dating him. And by pretending that she's dating him, she ends up like, they end up becoming a real couple. And it's like they fit together so perfectly. It's like, why didn't we see it before? And so I feel like that's what's happening for you, because we have the King of Cups here and the Death card, the Tower card. So there's some sort of chaos, some sort of disarray, some sort of topsy-turvy moment in your life where it feels like it's something embarrassing, I feel like happened, something that you held close to your heart, that you're maybe a little bit ashamed of, embarrassed about, has become public, or somebody that you didn't want to see or didn't want to know that knows that. Especially, it's something emotional with this Ace of Cups and the King of Cups. And I feel like the message, the magical message, the BAM message that you need to hear is that, and you know this, is going to turn out for the best. I mean, I'm just even seeing like all those little corny Christmas movies. It's like, oh, I got fired from my job in the big city and I have to go home and I don't know, like work for my parents or live with my parents again. And like by being in that small town, they end up like rekindling with the high school sweetheart. Like there might definitely be an element of somebody from the past, even if that person from the past is not somebody you saw in a romantic way previously. It could just be somebody you know. For some people, somebody I'm hearing, this is like the best friend of your brother. You never really ever saw them as a romantic interest. Like you didn't see them in that way, but because of these extenuating, odd, extraordinary circumstances, now you see them in that way. Like it's like you died, so you had a rebirth, and so now in this rebirth version of yourself, you see things in a new light, and this is specifically to do with the person. So we have the devil, we have Knight of Swords, and then we had all these other cards before. So let's talk about these first. Ooh. So I think all of these were in reverse. So this is past energy, and if it's not past energy, then this is energy that you're moving out of. You felt very dissatisfied, annoyed, entangled in your previous life before this death rebirth process happened. I remember this feeling. I remember I would sit in my dorm room and I would just be so bored and so unsatisfied. It's like I had everything that I wanted, but I didn't. And it's like the things that you didn't have that you wanted yet, or you didn't know how to get them. It was just like all this like frustration. I'm also getting kind of like Bridget Jones' Diary, I think the second movie. I would say like she left her old job. She ended up dating the guy of her dreams. You know, she had her own place. She had best friends. And it's like somehow she lost it all, even though she didn't lose it all. And she would just sit in her apartment and just like feel miserable. There was a bit of this in the first movie as well, the Bridget Jones Diary. It was just like that angst in her apartment. That's this feeling that you have, like really closed off from the world, took steps back from yourself. And I feel like you probably didn't even notice that you were hermiting yourself. You just were doing it because you were so dissatisfied with everything in your life, even though it's like what you wanted. So fast forward. After that was the death card, rebirth, tower moment. And then now we have this new person that is most likely old. Even if you didn't like know this person, I feel like you still knew of them, or like you had an awareness of them, even if you never met them. So let's say, for example, your great aunt's best friend's son, daughter, whatever person. You knew that your great aunt's best friend had a child, but you never met them. So that's an example of what I mean. When I was saying the word corny earlier, I almost said horny. I had to make sure to fix it in my mind before I sped it out. Horniness is on the table here with this devil card. It's about being sexually charged, sexual tension. So for some of you, this person might be your twin flame. I'm only saying that because this feels similar to the experience that I had upon being in proximity to my twin flame. I feel like I need to talk about this, even though I don't like to talk about my personal experiences, but I don't know. If I regret it, it'll be fine. Okay. So for me personally, my twin flame wasn't my typical type of person that I would be attracted to. And so when I would be around him, I would feel this intensity, but I'd be like confused because I'm like, why is it coming from him? And so that's what I'm getting with this energy. It's like you feel aroused, you feel horny, you feel excitable, you feel this intense sexual anticipation, tension, feeling, but it's for a person, like I said, who has seemingly come out of nowhere, even if you might have been around them before, or like I said, known about them before. I feel like that's when we have this Knight of Swords energy. It's like very quick, very like, and as I said, that kitty has dropped a bead to the ground, like to emphasize me. So this person, I would say for features, they might have black hair, they might have tan skin, what's it called, like army fatigue, is army fatigue, like that camouflage clothing pattern might be important, or they might be pale. So it's either they have like tan skin or like brown skin, or they're pale. They're not one of those people that are like in between. And I would say dark hair, like black hair, or red hair. Okay, I feel like we need to get off that. Moving on to the next. I feel like more than anything, what you needed was just to hear this explained. I wish I would have had somebody to explain this to me while I was going through this process. It's like you know what's going on a deep level, but you also don't because you've never experienced anything like this. Like twin flames, if this is resonating with you and this is your twin flame, it's unprecedented. And I don't know, recently I've just been hearing all these things about like twin flames and how people think they have twin flames when they're on this twin flame journey, and how do you know if it's your real twin flame or a karmic. And I remember like telling a friend, and I remember I used to watch videos before I started not being interested in twin flames at all, and they would be like, you just know, like one of the main ways that you know is that you know. I will say from my experience, it's nothing at all like anything you've ever experienced. Even if you think you've been in a lot of relationships or situationships and you've had a good diversity in experiences in terms of like romance or even sexuality, it will be nothing like that. It will be completely different, I'm telling you. And if you're experiencing that, if you're feeling that, then I would say, and if you already were leaning that way, it's probably your twin. And if not, just ignore everything I said. So other cards you have, the Hierophant, the Hierophant here, which was in reverse, Knight of Wands, and Two of Wands. So lots of heat. If you've been feeling like overheated recently, it's all right. It's just a part of this process. It's a part of like your DNA being activated. That was a thing that I felt personally when I was having this initial experience. I felt like my DNA was being activated, like what's it called? Like sleeping DNA was being activated within me. It was like a crackle of lightning, but inside of my body. It felt very odd, to say the least. So that's what that is. And I feel like I'm feeling like with this Two of Wands, it will take time for you to get used to and acclimated with. With the Hierophant, this is a sacred, divinely protected connection. But with it being in reverse, I feel like there are still some things that need to be clicked in place. Not in terms of, I don't think this is anything that you have to do or this person has to do. I feel like it's something to do with like external factors, and this could literally be anything. It could be energetically, or like literally like moving locations, something like that. And I also feel like, in terms of what this means for you and your person. Somebody is in denial. Could be you, could be them, could be both of y'all. I'm not judging. I was definitely in denial. I did not want to have a twin flame. Because it's crazy. You know, I feel like I need to say this. Like, people who think they're in twin flame relationships, I'm like, if you were actually in one, there would be several points at which you would wish you were not in one, because it's hell. Because it brings up all your shit to the surface, in your face. But at first, it's really nice. It's really nice and intense. And then you have to, like, I don't know. Hopefully that's ending. Because, like, there's been a lot of interference. That's why it's all this shit. It's interference within these sacred connections. Because, like I said, it activates DNA. And activated DNA, it's like the lock and key is the key. It's the blueprint to ascension and returning, taking back all our full power and becoming superheroes again with superpowers. We can fly, we can teleport, we can materialize, we can manifest anything just like that, living our dream lives. That's the natural organic state of us as divine beings, as source itself, themselves, which we are. And that is something that the twin flames have. And so there's a lot of fuckery. But this is your last card. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles. Like I said, there's something waiting. There's something that's not ready yet, but it's something that's definitely on the way. If you would like a personal reading, I can do that. You can DM me on Instagram at queensensitivity1, or you can, the number 1, or you can email me, queensensitivity1@gmail.com. It's all lowercase and again, the number 1. I offer, if you'd like something quick and less pricey, I offer sensitivity kits. They're only $11, and there's information on that in the pinned post on my Instagram page. But yeah, I have a sound bath meditation available on my Ko-fi page, and I have a hydromancy reading, which is where I do a reading with water, on my YouTube page, as well as different energy updates. I would highly recommend you go watch those, because everything I do is chronological, even though it's out of order. And it makes sense, and there's different little keys and codes, I would say, for everybody in those. So, thank you. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you next time. Bye. How to. Hi. It's gonna remove the energy of pile 1. Send it on its way. So it feels like for you, there's a little bit more hesitation. So I don't know, are you trying to make some sort of decision? I want to make sure to say, if you missed the intro, please go watch it. Pause the video now, go watch the intro, come back. Wait till the end of your reading, pause it, then go watch the intro. It's very important, because the title of this reading and how it came about is a channel message within itself. And one of the things that I really wanted to do for this reading is to make sure I jam pack it with high vibrations, high frequencies, so that I could help people. And every little thing I do is like a small or large activation. You know, depending on the person. So these are magical messages meant to find you. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. I am picking up on, there's some sort of discord with a friend of yours. Look, Kitty has decided to show himself a little bit. He's behind me during our reading. So yes, just as I was saying it about a friendship, this could be with anybody. Could be a relative that you have a friendship with, could be a romantic interest, could just literally be a friend. There's some sort of discord, because I keep getting memories of this woman that I used to be friends with, and I remember I loved her. She was amazing, very close, I think in terms of like our vibes, our frequency, very resonating with each other. But I remember I would talk to her. I'd feel happy. This happened with actually more than one person. I would talk to these friends and I would be so happy and high vibe, but then I would talk to them and they would just shoot me down. I'd feel so low. And I don't think, I'm positive that they weren't, or maybe, I don't know. I don't think they were like consciously trying to like bring me down, but it's just what happened. And I was distraught over that for like the first buds of our connection. I would feel like, oh, you know, this person's made me feel so low unintentionally, but I still stayed around because I loved them so much. I loved talking to them. I love having this connection with them. And eventually, this person actually decided to stop being friends with me and stop talking to me. And it's like, man, I should have listened to my instinct the first time, because I think she was just like protecting herself, putting boundaries with herself when I triggered her. But I didn't do the same because I'm me. I'm pretty cool. When people trigger me, I don't know. I feel like all this is important, so just bear with me as I try to find the words to explain this. So, when people trigger me, I'll have two reactions, but it's always one reaction. I feel like it's two separate like responses, but it's always the same reaction. I always dive deep into it. I always wonder why, because I feel like if people triggering me feels like somebody else they have power over me somehow. And if somebody has power over me somehow, then I want to take it back. And so I'll sit for hours, or I'll think about it for days, however long it takes, weeks, until I clear it and get really into it. And then it's like by the time, I don't know, if somebody else mentions the same thing or the same trigger pops up, it doesn't trigger me as much, if at all. The two separate ways I'll respond to this is I'll like go rush into like being around this person more and more so I can figure out what they have that's causing me to have this disturbance, or I'll stop talking to them. It's usually those two reactions. And I feel like that's the kind of dilemma that you found yourself in, where like you have this amazing connection with this person, but for some reason it's like these high wave, crests? I don't know, like the top of the mountain, the top of the wave, it gets so high, but it also crashes down so low. I would say from a personal experience, my advice would be to end the connection, make space. Because the thing about these things, it's like, I don't know. I was reading the Times article about Taylor Swift, who is the person of the year, and she was saying, something I've learned is that you don't have to actively go against your enemies. Trash always takes itself out. And so I feel like at this time, while you might not even consider this person trash, things that are trash for you, situations that are trash for you, you know, and people that are trash for you, it will be removed. And you can do it voluntarily when you see the signs, the warning signs, or you can do it involuntarily, like they will remove themselves. Like I said, like she just stopped talking to me. And who else have I had people stop talking to me? I don't think I've had a lot of people stop talking to me, a few. But other times it's always been me that decides, you know what, I'm gonna stop talking to you. And I feel like for you is what I'm getting, this might be happening in multiple, I just heard a ring, in multiple relationships. So it could be a friend, and then it could also low-key be a family member, for example, your mother or your aunt or your father or your uncle or your sister, somebody that's like really close to you. And you see these little signs, and I feel like you start to realize that you don't really like certain people. You just were in a lower vibration where you weren't resonating with parts of yourself. That's the thing about this spiritual journey. a lot of people, I don't know, make it look like it's this fluffy, lovely experience, and it is a lovely and fluffy experience, but it's also very it's very sad and painful, because as you raise your vibration, as you change, as you evolve, you stop resonating with these people that you love. And this could even be like I was saying about a friendship. You could maybe have known them less than a year, but already it's fraying at the edges because you grow and you expand so much. This is something that I'm very familiar with. As a scorpionic person, I change, I level up like that. I don't like stagnancy. I don't like being in the same place or mental state for too long. And something that I've come to learn or observe in other people is that they really do. People really like to stay the same. And I do have a lot of things. I feel like this is important for you. I have a lot of things that I like to do repetitiously, but even if I like something, I will force myself to be uncomfortable because I'm even more uncomfortable with being stagnant. So let's say, for example, I go to a coffee shop and I always get the same drink every single time. If I notice this, that I always get the same drink, I will go there and pick something else that could possibly be disgusting and a waste of my time and money. But I'll do it just to be alive, just to be doing something new. And I feel like, Pal 2, this is you. You're like me, or at least you share some of these traits that I'm mentioning. You're picking up some of your characteristics and these different personal examples that I'm getting. And other people, there's parts of all of us that are subconscious that we are unaware of, and that amount is larger and smaller depending on the person. And I feel like as you go along this journey, that part of you that is unaware, asleep, unawake is growing smaller and smaller, while other people's is staying the same or decreasing at a much slower, less accelerated pace. And so it's like they don't even realize that they're taking the easy way out, because it is easy. It's the same thing over and over and over, and to, I don't know, not face things over and over and over is the easy way out. The hard way is to see your demon and to go confront it, go talk to it, go integrate it. So you have 3 cards in front of me that I know you can't see. On the bottom deck, you have 8 of Pentacles. So this card is, I like the number 8. I feel like it's very hefty, like the hefty trash bags. It can take a lot. And so I feel like what you're doing, even if you're doing it from a place of not really being aware of it, like your soul knows that you're doing it, you're cleaning house, you're taking stock, you're taking, what's it called, inventory. You're doing a whole look around your space, so to speak, and seeing what things you no longer need, getting more of the things that you like. It's this huge reevaluation of your life that your soul, your higher self is undertaking. And your lower self, so to speak, is picking up on these massive changes happening on a very, I don't know, pulled back, way. So you have another 5 of Pentacles, lots of earth, lots of material. So like I said, this has to do with relationships, real people, and also I feel like even real things, like taking out things that no longer serve you. So again, for example, for me, I love coffee my whole life. Since I was 4, I loved coffee. And I came to a point after getting more and more channel messages, becoming more and more awake, I couldn't take coffee. And so I started drinking decaf coffee. And then it got to the point where I couldn't even drink decaf coffee. It was too much for me. And so it's something that was concrete, foundational to you, that you've always done, something you've always enjoyed. Why is it still shining? It's no longer resonating with you. It's no longer for you. Click, 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 click. Ooh, we have temperance. So I feel like a part of this journey requires a lot of patience, and that is a message. That's the magical message that you need to hear, is to have patience with yourself and just know that everything is gonna fall the way it's supposed to fall. So yes, you know, making certain choices could save you a lot of time or anguish or whatever, but this message is saying even if you don't make the right choice, it'll still fall, like the pieces will still fall where they're supposed to fall. Like I said, the Taylor Swift quote, or she probably quoted somebody else, trash always takes itself out. Like these people, these things, I don't know, for example, the coffee, they will remove themselves. You know, even if you decide to, you know, I'm going to keep on drinking it for a little while, or I'm going to keep on talking to this person for a little while, keep on trying, something will happen. I think sooner rather than later, it will be removed. It's like the water, like I was saying. Did I say that? Yeah, the water, the crest of the wave, it'll still fall where it's supposed to fall. Every drop of water in the ocean always ends up where it's supposed to be. I feel like you're in a state of a lot of change, a lot of fluctuation. So don't hold on, like get rid of everything you think you know. Like the SpongeBob meme, or I don't know, the SpongeBob thing. Delete everything. Don't hold on to nothing, because you're undergoing this process where your higher self is kind of taking over and like leading the way. Yeah. I just said this and I just turned this card over. Wow. The Fool. Lord, this little light be getting on my nerves. Stop. The Fool. I just kind of said this. But yeah, be really easygoing. Don't cling on to anything. Don't chase anything. Of course, it's much easier said than done. But that's the message from Spirit. You'll have a much easier time the more, like, I know it'll seem like, you know, losing this person or losing this drink, whatever it is that you like, will be the end of the world, but it won't. Like, I'm telling you, I loved coffee. I never imagined that I'd stop drinking coffee, but since I've stopped drinking coffee, I've explored other options, and I've learned that I like a lot of other drinks, a lot of other teas, and I love them way more than I ever did coffee. It's like you don't know that until you find it. You don't know that your local, I don't know, beach isn't the best beach in the world until you are forced to go to another beach, you know, forced to break that comfort zone, and then you find somewhere else and you love it. It's way more suited to you than the other local area that you've known with much more familiarity. So this has been your reading. Please go watch the intro. If you would like a personal reading, I do those. Just DM me or email me. The information is in the description. If you would like to see me do more videos like this, I would love to. It's just that I don't get paid for this usually. And so I literally cannot afford to be making these videos. So if you'd like to donate, you feel welcome to do that. Or if you'd like to share my videos, encourage other people to watch them, that would also help. Or just sending your love to me, sending blessings to me would also be considered support in my eyes. Thank you so much. Please take care of yourself. I would recommend my Sacred Sound Bath Meditation, which is available on my Ko-fi page. Always recommend sensitivity kits. Sensitivity kits are quick, easy to get, only $11. And I post things all the time on my community page here on YouTube. Lots of goodies that I feel like a lot of people just like glance over. I don't know. But if it's not meant for you, then you missed it. Either way. So, okay. This is the end for now. Bye. Hello, kitty Manila. welcome pile 3 to your reading with my face. So, welcome to Bomb Bam Messages Meant to Find You, Magical Messages Meant to Find You. This is going to be your reading, pile number 3. I would highly recommend you go and watch the intro, because in the intro there's still some things that I feel are messages that you could possibly be missing out on, even if you don't like excuse me, actively pick up on these things. Your soul will recognize them, and I feel like that in itself is like one of the main messages for you, as I feel like you think that you're not doing something the right way, or you could be doing more of something or better of something, but you don't know. It's like every little move you make, I guess every little step I take, you will be there. Every little move I make, we'll be together. It's like the main message I'm getting from Spirit for you is that, like, the little things that you're doing. My window is open, so if you hear a person talking, that's from outside the house. So I feel like even that is a message. It might seem like, even to people on the outside, like you're not doing enough or you're not doing something right. But every little time that you listen to Spirit, every time that you take your intuition's advice, when your intuition tells you to go somewhere, to do something, or to not do something, you're stepping closer and closer to a big ass miracle that's also of your own coalition. Is that how you say it? Your own making? We'll use these. I also felt called at the beginning of your reading. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but I talked to Kitty, the cat here, and he's asleep now for one of his cat naps. No, he's not asleep, but he's getting there. And it took him a long time to trust me, and now he loves me. He loves me so much. And so I feel like that's a message from Spirit. Like, you really need to really soak that in, that you are so loved. Like, you are so beloved. Like, people really love you. They really care about you. Like, you're a safe space. And I feel like that's something that's not celebrated enough. Like, a person who creates a safe space for the people, I feel like there's nothing more valuable in the world, because in safe spaces, you let go of your survival mentality, and you're able to just be your true powerful self. And as you are your true powerful self, you're more and more at peace. And so I'm picking up on Selena Gomez, who ironically enough isn't a part of this Feminist Oracle deck. I don't know why. She's such a philanthropist. Selena Gomez. Even Beyonce, obviously. I would even say Blake Lively is such a philanthropist. These women, they do so much in front of the scene, but also behind the scenes to support people. And I feel like especially Selena Gomez, even though I'm sure she knows, she still doesn't fully know and appreciate this about herself, that other people beloved her. Like, they really love her because she is genuine. And there is nothing as valuable as genuinity in a place that is bankrupt of it. And the thing is, I feel like a lot of people don't even know that they're being genuine, even though they do. Ingenuine, even though they do. It's just that a lot of people are in this survival mode. Survival, how can I survive? That they're acting and responding in ways that aren't even, that their soul doesn't even agree to. It's just that they've been taught this and they're just going along with it out of fear. But they've been in the fear, they've been in the survival mode for so long that they don't even recognize it as a foreign state or the temporary state. It's not supposed to have longevity. They recognize that fear, that panic as their normal, as their homeostasis. And that's where we have things like collective PTSD. And you, my dear Pile 3, are a healer of that. You take it and you hold it in your beautiful heart, and you heal that within other people, and you show them the light at the end of the tunnel. You show them a way out. Just by being you, you do so many things. And like I said, I feel like you don't value them enough, as well as there might be this kind of imbalance in how much you receive based on the high value of what you do. And I feel like a part of that is also because, you know, those people who like have a hard time taking compliments, I feel like that might be kind of you. It's like you're not as receptive to the blessings that you're supposed to receive based on what you give. Like you give so much and you don't value it enough. And so the universe could be trying to give you like a lot of stuff, but like you're like, oh no, I'll only take a little. And this might be something that you're doing, the wind is blowing out. This might be something that you're doing subconsciously. I would know. The do-gooders, the people who really feel the pain of others, they have a hard time, because I feel like there's this trope in society where if you're doing philanthropy, if you're doing the good work, then you're not supposed to receive anything. It's just supposed to be from your heart, and you shouldn't expect anything back. And it's like, that's true. You shouldn't necessarily expect anything back, as well as you should expect something back, because that's universal flow. It's a law of the universe, you know, ebbs and flows, give and take, energetic harmony. It's supposed to be balanced, and you've given so much. And not only that, what you give has a lot of quality to it. You have quality things that you give out, which means that you're supposed to receive quality things back, and a lot of it, because you give out so much. And I feel like, Pile 3, you don't even know, like, I feel like if you wrote down all the little considerate things that you do in a day, you'd be surprised. You do so many little bitty considerate things, even if you simply pick up on somebody else having emotional distress and you don't feel like you're supposed to, you know, reach out or talk to them per se. You still think about them and you still send them love. And I feel like you think that that's something that everybody does, and so you kind of devalue it within yourself, but it's not. A lot of people don't do that. You have Margaret Atwood. She comes out quite a lot. You have Phoebe Philo, but I also heard Phoebe Bridgers. I don't know. Agnes Varda. Malala Yousafzai. So right off the bat, I'm noticing you have a color palette, which is, I would say, yellow and blue. Is really sticking out to me. Yellow hair, yellow clothes, and the blue background. And then it's pretty obvious here. And then in this one, yellow, blue, and even white, I would say. For me, these colors obviously represent the throat chakra, the solar plexus chakra, and the white, I would say, I don't even know if this is true, but you know how you have chakras outside of your physical body? I would say it's the one above the crown chakra. I don't know the name of it. You see? Like you have heart, throat, brow chakra, third eye chakra, and then you have the crown chakra, and then you have ones above that. The white chakra, I would say, is one of those above that. You're so tapped in. You're so, you know, your solar plexus, you know, that's where your individuality comes in. So it's like you just being you just being yourself, is healing to other people. Like, you healing your solar plexus is other people healing their solar plexus. And speaking of the word solar, it's also sun. So it's like you're just like so bright. You light up other people, you activate other people, you help nourish other people, because we do feed off the sun. We do get nourishment from the sun, just as plants do, as humans do. We also get something from the sun, and I feel like that's a part of it. You know, we're always taught about photosynthesis and how the plants, you know, convert food from sunlight. But humans, we also do that too. It's another thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's like these misconceptions intentionally put in place so that people like you aren't on the receiving end of all that you give. So it's like we've been taught that, you know, we don't really get anything from sunlight, but we do. We get a lot from sunlight. A lot from sunlight. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody knows that, or, you know, some people do, but most people don't know that. And so most people, I know, don't understand and don't appreciate the impact of what you do. Even though, as I said, people who love you, and there are people who see you, even if it's creatures like pets, that see you, they really love you truly. But yeah, it's like I was also saying earlier, it's like, I don't know, was I saying this earlier? But I remember I heard, I think Ramona Lappin say this. She was just giving an example, like, this shaman in the woods, like a sacred shaman, you know, the person who does all the healing, energetic work, and people just constantly come to this shaman in the woods, and they take, and they don't leave this person anything. It's like, that's a distortion that happened across time, and that it was intentionally taught to, like, the folk, the townsfolk, or the woodmen in this case, so that the shaman would be depleted and become, you know, in some cases bitter, or maybe not even bitter, but like become less confident in themselves. You know, if people aren't giving to me as I give to them, then maybe my work isn't as valuable, or maybe what I'm doing isn't high vibrational, it isn't worthy. That's what I feel from you. And it's like, I feel like now with the sunlight being so bright today, even though my camera is not doing what I want to do, it's like, it's returning of that truth that the shaman should be fed, should be replenished back, should be receiving too. You should give back to her, to them, because that's the natural way of things. The shaman has given so much to you, you give back to her as well, you give back to them as well. This energy is particularly apparent in the divine feminine within us all, but I would say especially the divine feminine in who identify as female. I'm gonna read, I think, the Phoebe one. It says, know your limits and respect them. Time is the greatest luxury. Dress to feel your best, not to impress. And so this is what I feel. This is a message for you, but this is also a message for the general collective consciousness, that I feel like you do hold this consciousness of the divine feminine, of the Holy Mother within you. The Holy Mother, the shaman, you know, has to pull back all of that over giving, all of that extra giving that they've been giving out. Now has to take it back and to feed it back into themselves, and after that be really, really open, and I feel like expectant to receiving, of being given something back, because that expectation is also what creates it. Because the Holy Mother, the sacred divine feminine, has been being depleted, taken from, pillaged for a very long time, way too much, and that's what you represent. So that's a part of your advice. I keep seeing this. It's two hand movements. So in this one, it's the hand like this, like stop. And then in this one, it's the hand over the eye, like this. I'm not sure what that means politically. But for me, I'm getting like, this is the third eye. For some reason, I'm getting like the spiritual eye, like seeing the truth. And I feel like another message for you is to stop and smell the roses and to really see the truth rather than the distorted truth that the world is trying to make you see. So I feel like the distorted truth would be that you aren't doing enough. What you do isn't valued. It's not as good as XYZ that the toxic masculine or even the toxic feminine do. It's not good enough and you should do more. And other people's work is more valuable than yours. And the real truth is that your work is what saves everybody, what sets free the entire collective that is humanity, the entire collective of Earth, frees everybody fully. Like I said, sacred space, returning to yourself. That is the most valuable thing. You are worthy, you are deserving, you are doing more than enough, and you deserve to receive compensation or appreciation, respect, and also material abundance for what you do. So I'm also getting another thing Taylor Swift said in the Times Person of the Year article. She was saying how she was like, things that is associated with femininity, things that girls, women do, feminine people do, like glitter and talking about your feelings and, dresses and stuff like that. Why are those things seen as frivolous as compared to things that masculine people do or masculine things? They're not frivolous. They're not worthless. They're not without merit. They are important. They are worthy. And they are brilliant, just as brilliant as masculine things. So, this has been your message. This has been your reading, pile number 3. I do personal readings, so you can DM me at queensensitivity1, the number 1, at Instagram.com or whatever, or email me queensensitivity1@gmail.com for those. Again, please go watch the intro if you didn't watch it. I have a sacred sound bath meditation that's available on my Ko-fi page, and I also have a hydromancy reading where I do a reading with water on my YouTube channel, and I have lots of things that I post on the community page of my YouTube that I feel like could also have messages in there for you. But I just want to say thank you so much for all that you do for the collective. Thank you for all the support that you give to me. If you would like to see more readings like this, especially pick cards, please feel free to donate. Please feel free to share. Information regarding donations are in the the description box. I have Buy Me a Coffee, I have Venmo, I have PayPal, and I have Ko-fi, which is also PayPal. I think that's it. Yeah. But yeah. Thank you so much if you have donated before. Thank you to the people that do donate to me. Leave a comment if this resonates. I didn't say that for the piles. I really like comments. And comments, I don't know, I feel like they just help things. And yeah. Okay. Bye.